Ezekiel 1:4-5. And I looked, and, behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance.
If you noticed strange lights in the sky over the weekend, you aren't alone. KCTV5's Alan Shope went to Lee's Summit to get to the bottom of more than a dozen UFO sightings.
I mean, it's actually pretty large. It looked like it was about a mile away.
It was not something Felix Figueroa and his friends expected to see last weekend.
Make sure everyone immediately, while it's still fresh in their mind, draws a picture of what they saw. And so we all took out a piece of paper and we all do the same thing.
Yeah, a strange metal-looking ship hovering over Lee's Summit. Felix says he never really believed in UFOs till now.
We were all stunned. I mean, we were all just in awe. I mean, I don't even know how I didn't run off the road.
Felix is not alone. Margie Kay with the Missouri Mutual UFO Network says it was a busy weekend in Kansas City. 17 different people with sightings contacted her office this weekend alone.
This last weekend was really big. Saturday late night to Sunday morning during a 6.5-hour period. We had so far to date 17 witnesses call in about UFOs that they've seen.
No one knows if UFOs actually exist or why they'd be hanging out in the Kansas City area. One thing is for sure, for the folks who witnessed the strange events this last weekend, they wish they'd have taken pictures. Richard Vick wished he'd have taken pictures of a strange sight that he saw in the sky Saturday off 435 and 63rd Street in Missouri.
I was looking out my window towards the east. Under the tree line, there was an orange orb, and it was traveling, I'd guess, 40 or 50 miles an hour. And it hit the tree line, and then it would just start to move up and just explode into like 5 balls.
As for Felix, he has a message for those who may not believe.
Definitely have second thoughts, and I would say that it's a possibility, especially after what I saw.
In Lee's Summit, Alan Shope, KCTV5 News.
Strange indeed. Well, we called Whiteman Air Force Base. A spokesperson says they didn't have anything in the skies Saturday night, and they are not aware of any pending UFO investigations.
Eagle Ford is a hotspot for oil, but over the past few weeks, it's turned into the mothership of UFO sightings.
Some people say they have seen things that make them think there is life out there. Eric Gonzalez went to find out what the objects in the sky are really all about.
If you've been around Cotulla, Texas, then you've probably heard the rumors. Many swear it's become ground zero for unidentified flying objects the past few weeks. Several videos have been posted on YouTube showing sightings in the Cotulla area. This UFO was posted this past Wednesday.
Recently, an awful lot of triangle sightings. That seems to be the big one these days.
John Cross of MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, is a national organization that investigates unidentified flying objects. So what have people seen the most?
Probably the fireballs. We're not real sure what those are. We think they've switched over to jet-powered drones.
Recently, they investigated this photo that was taken near Cotulla in an oil field area.
There's a lot being made of that photo. Honestly, to us, it looks like a time-lapse of possibly a vehicle going by with a blinker on.
MUFON says they can solve 80 to 90% of the cases they follow, but it's those unsolved 10% cases that excite them.
It was at night, and it was little things jumping around up there. So, yeah, I guess I do believe in them now.
MUFON says California, Texas, and Detroit, Michigan are the hot spots for sightings right now, but they say this UFO is a clear-cut case of an airplane or a drone.
It really doesn't display any unusual flight patterns of any kind. And as you watch the video toward the end, you can clearly see all 3 of the beacons on the aircraft.
Locals say with no trees and a lot of flat ground, the sky's the limit when it comes to UFOs.
You can see a long distance out here, you know, at night when you're riding up and down 35.
Eric Gonzalez,
Strange and unexplained filled the skies over Cape Coral this weekend.
Some of you wrote to NBC2. You even shared some video of these bizarre lights, thinking maybe they were UFOs. Well, NBC2 Steve Campy discovered what it really most likely was.
I never saw anything like it before.
Strange sightings in the skies over Cape Coral spark imagination.
They were just like white lights, small in size, you know, and they were maybe 50 foot above the water.
Pete Maschio tells us he saw bizarre lights flicker this weekend off the South Cape.
I've seen things that, you know, don't look normal.
Richard Goby isn't sold, telling us extraterrestrial life may exist, but probably didn't visit Cape Coral.
It's probably reflections. It's probably something off the water that reflects up in the sky.
The Mutual UFO Network tells us many of the sightings could be easily explained with this, what's called a sky lantern. The hot air has filled up this lantern and actually wants to pull away right now, so we're going to try to launch this off and see how far it goes.
The color, the brightness at night, because it gets really bright, they're going to think this is a UFO.
Chris Whiten sells sky lanterns at his Fort Myers store. The fireworks enthusiast tells us some might mistake the increasingly popular contraption for a UFO.
It's going to be heading out, continuously going higher, and it'll get to where it's a pinprick of light because of the distance and the height.
While we can't be certain these lights are man-made, some plan to look up with a watchful eye.
I'll look at it a little more closely.
And perhaps spot something surreal.
So, Pete, you think we're not alone?
No, I definitely think we're not.
In Cape Coral, Steve Campion, NBC.
Mysterious lights hovering in the skies across several parts of the country. This video is from Indianapolis of a strange formation that appeared this week. Now, people in Metro Detroit say they've seen something just like it. Last night, our newsroom and our Facebook page got several reports of strange lights in the skies over Metro Detroit. And tonight, Fox News' Ron Savage is on a mission to find out what they really are. Ron.
You know how we operate here. We do stories on talkers, and this is a talker. Everybody's talking about it. What are the lights in the sky? Mysterious lights in the sky. Many Metro Detroiters have been wondering, what am I seeing?
It wasn't quite as high as you would see. I've been watching the airplanes tonight, and it wasn't quite as high as them. And I mean, like I said, you could actually see the triangle shape of the object.
David Levy was outside Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. with friends in Flat Rock, and suddenly
we were outside, and up in the sky we saw a triangle-shaped light or triangle-shaped object with about 5 lights flashing, heading north.
Who saw it first, a friend or did
I did, yes.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I asked people, what do you think that is? And everybody was like, I don't know. And then later on at night, I found out that people had been seeing this object all over.
In fact, our Fox 2 Facebook page has been blowing up with hundreds of posts, people seeing lights like Lisa. She writes, I seen some in Southgate, but thought it was fireworks and weird for January. Nick writes, I assumed they were planes. They were flying in the same direction. I watched them for about 10 minutes, and I counted 4 or 5 of them. I'm over in St. Clair Shores. Mario writes, I seen it in East Point, off 9 Mile. It was something crazy. And Sean writes, I was the one who called into the Fox 2 newsroom and first broke this story. They were black, triangle-shaped objects making circles over West Bloomfield and Farmington Hills. There was no noise, and they had bright lights. I'm not making this up, and I know somebody else saw these things. These lights are all over YouTube. The original poster says they were shot in Miami this week. And these lights were said to be shot in Indianapolis. Is this similar to what David saw in Flat Rock?
This kind of looks like a stand in one spot, but that's exactly what it looked like, except there was 5 of them.
5 lights.
5 lights.
William Konkoleski of the Michigan Mutual UFO Network has also been taking calls from people who see lights at night all across Metro Detroit.
It's very possible that people are seeing military aircraft that they haven't notified us about yet, like the spy planes or also the stealth aircraft that have been flying on our skies now for a few years. It's well known that they were testing these aircraft well before they notified people that they even existed. Now, on top of all that, we have unmanned drones up in the sky, and those things really look strange, especially for somebody that has no idea what they could even be.
And certainly some people may be skeptical when they hear that somebody's reporting lights in the sky, but perhaps there is a logical explanation for some of these light displays. They've been reported all over the country and all around the calendar all year round. It doesn't seem to be a particular time of the year when they're reported more so than others. And across Michigan and Metro Detroit, we're getting reports, and our Facebook page has been blowing up, as you know, recently, Huel, with a lot of people reporting these lights.
Ron, for years, the Air Force conducted an investigation of so-called UFOs. They found no official proof. Any word from the feds tonight about those strange lights?
Well, you wonder if the military's involved, as one of our UFO experts was curious there and mentioned. We did put some calls into Selfridge. The FAA, we didn't get any reaction. Could be a logical explanation for some of these light displays. I'll tell you this, there's no full moon right now, but we're getting an awful lot of reports of lights in the sky. Huel?
Certainly not a weather balloon, Ron. All right, thank you.
That's right.
His second term, from looming questions over Benghazi to the war in Afghanistan. Keep it here as our special coverage of Inauguration Weekend continues.
Okay, now rewind that.
President Obama in his second term, from looming questions over Benghazi to the war in Afghanistan. Keep it here as our special coverage of Inauguration Weekend continues.
What is that? What is that?
Well, lights up in the sky aren't really that unusual around the new year.
However, some Cleveland residents say they saw something more than your typical firework display. Eyewitness News reporter Katie McCall joins us live with the story, all new at 6. Katie?
Gina, a Cleveland woman who says she has never before spotted a UFO swears that she saw one hovering in the trees right over US 59. Now, a UFO investigator is looking into whether this was a plane, a helicopter, or something from out of this world.
Just there, like, you know, this.
On December 30th, Lauren Harris was on Highway 59 in Cleveland when a brightly lit cylinder hovering in the sky caused her to pull over.
Strange, like the lights were pulsating on it and it would disappear for a few seconds and it would reappear in the same spot. And then we noticed too that it wasn't moving at all. So we're like, no, that can't be an airplane, and what would a helicopter be doing this late at night over the wood? I think it was a UFO.
The nursing student says she tried to document the encounter.
I held my phone up like this and I tried taking a picture of it, and then I put it back down and it was gone.
But never expected to be taken seriously. To her surprise, Fletcher Gray from MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, is investigating.
I have verified over 345 cases.
Gray looks into reports of extraterrestrial vehicles, alien encounters, and aircraft modeled after alien vehicles not acknowledged by the government.
This was verified by 2 independent witnesses. This is a UFO because we don't know if it belongs to extraterrestrial or if it's one of our own. Here's a lady that supposedly had a transplant where she'd been abducted. These ETs, or extraterrestrials, are moving from one star system to the next.
Gray believes a Cleveland police officer saw the same thing Harris did, and he's trying to obtain dash cam video. He's also looking into this reported sighting in Houston. His message to UFO observers: don't be afraid to speak up.
Always contact MUFON and to make their reporting sightings as long as they're credible.
The police chief in Cleveland tells me he is not aware of any such sighting or dash cam video within the department. Gray says that is very common in his line of work, and it will not stop his investigation. We're live in Cleveland. Katie McCall, 13 Eyewitness News.
So we would like to know what you think about this investigation. Log on to our Facebook page and join the conversation. And if you saw one of those unexplained lights, well, why don't you share your photos with Eyewitness Reports? Just email them to news@abc13.com.
小心呗！小心了，是人的，速度太快了。找个用餐，没了。楼哪没了？咱们去走齐吧，咱们老师，直接走吧。
拿了人防球。
老师，咱们回不了家了。
我。好巧。
哦，不是，那是那个
丰泽园。
丰泽园。老师，咱们去走棋吧。不是，我们家已经被淹了，这里。哦。这已经被淹了，你看，没了，已经快把它淹掉了。天哪，看不见了。赶紧。没事，就有这个修。好，这个抢翻，你没拿录像机，太震撼了，这点。是我们停车吧。夸张，这个沙尘暴你才是。你说故意吧？带扑克没咱们？哦。走不了了。
老师，我们停车吧。
咋了？等会儿走。
等会儿走。
看会儿。别看了，看上这个等会儿越来越黑了，路都看不见了。红了，天哪！就是红了，你以为？就是我记得我们上小学的时候黑。4个闪的那个。车上。窗子有。哎呀！我第一次见，太爽了，这感觉。哦。是吧？太夸张了。
This is, you see 504, it's not 511, sorry. This is right before the broadcast. There's the DVR, it's on pause, plus an Xbox. If you're wondering what that noise is, there's an AC back there, okay? Here goes. Let me settle this on the camera. Watch, now the news report's going to come. Let me remove that. Let me get the captions off.
Right now, the fire is not a threat to any homes or businesses. And
watch, here comes the weather in a second. Just so you guys can see that's not fake. Watch. Watch over his left shoulder, then I'm going to get close. Ready? There it is. Now look. See if you can see the metallic right on top. See it?
Dealing with that, also dealing with some pretty hot weather in the area. 88 degrees temperature.
Again, let me go up again.
45% relative humidity, and the winds.
And again, this is Sunday, August 5th. That's not saying on there. 5:06 p.m. Not 5:11 actually. See, they switched it now, and the 6 o'clock news. They did not include this live shot, unlike this time. See, there's a whole weather forecast. It's done. And like I said, they did not come back to that. If you also noticed, let me go back to it. Look at the top of the object, you'll see the metallic part, like I was saying on top.
Pretty hot weather in the area, 88 degrees temperature. Fairly dry conditions, 45%.
That's in the shot. It's not a bug. It's not a camera trick. Nothing. Hey?
Brand new information today raising new questions about possible contacts with UFOs. A top secret document filed by the FBI in 1949 tells how 3 different men each reported seeing a UFO breaking up in midair. The document reveals that they were miles apart at the time, and each one of them say they saw the UFO explode over the mountains in Utah. Here now, Dr. Lynn Kitai, the executive producer of the Phoenix Lights Network, to tell us more. Doctor, what do you make of this?
Actually, it's interesting that this would go viral. Supposedly, it's been on the internet since available to the public since 1977. And I spoke with Dr. Bruce Maccabee, who is a former Navy optical physicist and a renowned UFO investigator who actually has done much research on the FBI files. He has a book, UFOs Connection. And to quote him, that we have been visited by advanced technology that's gracing our skies worldwide, not only for decades, as this would say, but also for centuries.
Well, and Doctor, I mean, when you look at some of the material that's contained in this FBI file, I mean, they took it seriously. At the time, they sent this to the director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, and there were a lot of folks who thought there was something to this. Now, that's a legitimate agency. Is there more to this?
Exactly, and it did give it credibility, and actually sharing what Dr. Bruce Maccabee has investigated himself over the decades. And at the time, to quote, the Air Force had stated that nothing was flying in the air, but at this time they did go to Hoover. There was a Project Grudge and Sign and Snowbird, and the only public study at the time was Project Blue Book, which was closed in 1969 with the statement that UFOs are not a threat to national security. Well, how did they know that unless they were studying it? And as we see in the mass sighting that happened in Arizona in 1997 called the Phoenix Lights, there were thousands of people statewide for many hours that actually saw a mile to 2 mile wide craft traverse the entire state, and that still has not been explained.
Well, Doctor, it's certainly an interesting topic. Folks will want to dig into these documents. They can find them online. Thank you so much for your time today, Dr. Lynn Kitai.
UFOs, are they real or are they fake? Tonight, an El Cajon family is sharing video they say has turned them from skeptics to believers.
Yeah, it's getting real bright. Stacy Gibson can't tell you what she captured on home video, but she can tell you she's never seen anything like it before.
We were just, wow, this is weird, this is strange, what's going on?
Just before 10 Sunday night, Stacy's husband Todd was walking the dogs when two bright orange and white lights appeared to be moving in sync across the sky.
I've seen planes, I've seen satellites. With planes, there's always little tiny blinking lights. There wasn't anything like that with this. It was just solid, one color the entire time.
For 5 minutes, the mysterious lights shifted from north to south before they suddenly disappeared.
I was in awe. I mean, looking up at two orange objects in the sky that I've never seen before.
The FAA can't explain what the family saw, and so far only a neighbor has reported a similar sighting. Mel Podell with the San Diego chapter of the Mutual UFO Network says dozens of UFO hoaxes have been documented in the El Cajon area over the years, but can't say with any certainty if these are alien or fake. While the family knows their story sounds out of this world, they are convinced they witnessed a close encounter and will be keeping a watchful eye on the sky.
I think we're definitely believers now.
And of course, if you'd like to see more of the family's video, just go to our website, cbs8.com, and click on the Hot button.
I think they're friends, UFOs.
Shelby, calm down. You can't really zoom in on them though, babe. Hey.
One just disappeared. It just totally...
No, it didn't. It's still up there.
Orange thing right there.
Why are they orange? And what are they?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, stop shouting. Stop shouting. They are moving, Stace.
Those aren't planes.
I know they're not. I'm the one that told you they're not.
But they're creeping me out.
Straight up there.
Can you stop it,
Shelby, stop.
Moving real fast.
Stop shouting, Stace. You can't really record these very well.
So what, Todd? You gotta get this one. It's
Okay, you can't really record anything.
Now it's blinking.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, it's getting real bright.
It's moving like this.
I know. I know. It's not
the other one though.
It's not a plane.
I know it's not.
Well, it's kind of staying still, and then it's kind of like. You think they're UFO friends? And then it's kind of going like.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
This one here, it isn't even. But they're equally apart.
Yeah, they're equally apart and they're both orange.
Just the same amount apart.
Yeah, see, Todd, make sure you get them that they're equally apart and both orange.
Hey, calm down. Ouch.
They're right above us now.
I know.
Yeah, they're equally apart and they're both orange. Straight ahead, they're always straight across from each other.
Okay, I know this.
It's like at 1 minute they're not moving and the next minute they're taking off.